Last lecture, we have seen different forces acting on a gravity dam. The forces are water pressure, uplift pressure, pressure due to earthquake forces, silt pressure, wave pressure, ice pressure, and the stabilizing force is the weight of the dam itself. These are the various types of forces acting on the gravity dam. Each force we have seen in detail: water pressure, then uplift pressure, earthquake forces, silt pressure, wave pressure, ice pressure, weight of the dam. These are the various types of forces acting on the gravity dam. The next is modes of failure and criteria for structural stability of the gravity dams. So which are the modes of failure? How the dam fails? How the structural stability of the gravity dams is determined? To avoid the failure, how to ensure the structural stability of the gravity dam? In that the gravity dam may fail in following ways. It may fail due to overturning or rotation about the toe, or by crushing of the dam structure, or due to development of the tension causing ultimate failure by crushing. And fourth one is due to shear failure, that is called sliding failure. These are the types of failures of the gravity dam. In these four ways, there are the four ways of failure. It may fail due to overturning or by crushing, or due to tension, or due to shear failure. These are the modes of failures of the gravity dam. So to avoid these failures, how this safety of the dam is ensured, how the structural stability of the gravity dam, how to ensure the safety, its stability, how the safety measures are taken. The first type is failure due to overturning. How it fails by overturning. So if the resultant of all the forces acting on the dam at any sections passes outside the toe, the dam shall rotate and overturn about the toe. So resultant of all forces, in last lecture we have seen different forces. We have seen in that water pressure. These are the forces. Water pressure. See this. Water pressure, uplift pressure, pressure due to earthquake forces, silt pressure, wave pressure, ice pressure, and sulfate of the dam. These are the various types of forces acting on the dam structure. These are the forces. The resultant of all these forces, the resultant of this all these forces, when we take the moment, see this, these forces, resultant of force is shown here in this diagram. The resultant of all these forces here are, capital R is shown, resultant force, summation of horizontal forces and summation of vertical forces. Two components are taken, summation H horizontal forces, summation V is the summation of vertical forces. The resultant force is shown here. When this R resultant force, when this force passes outside the toe of the dam, ज्यावेळेस हा जो फोर्स आहे आर टोच्या पलीकडे गेला असेल, हा कसं आहे टोच्या आतमध्ये कुठे दाखवल्या या बेसलाईन ही लाईन टोच्या मध्ये आहे. हा जर एरो टोच्या पलीकडे गेला तर तो डॅम कसं फेल होईल, डॅम काय होईल, टर्न होईल, और इट विल ओव्हरटर्न, रोटेट होईल असं अँटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन इन दिस वे. इट मे tilt or overturn, म्हणून त्याला काय म्हणायचं, overturning. When this resultant force passes outside this toe of the dam body, then the dam will fail by overturning. So to avoid this failure, the resultant should pass within this, should lie within this toe. समझला? The resultant of all these forces acting on the dam adherent section passes outside the toe, then dam shall rotate and overturn about the toe point. त्यामुळे काय होईल? Dam fail होईल. It may overturn. So to avoid this failure, what are the measures to be taken? What are the safety measures to be taken? Practically, such condition shall not arouse as the dam will fail much earlier by compression. Compression मध्ये पहिल्यांदा फेल होईल. ओव्हरटर्निंगच्या होण्या अगोदर compression due to compression or crushing failure may occur before overturning of the dam. The ratio of the moments about the toe anti-clockwise to the overturning moments about the toe clockwise is called as factor of safety against overturning. The ratio of the anti-clockwise movements and clockwise movements, that gives factor of safety. या दोन्हीचे रेशो म्हणजे काय? अँटी क्लॉकवाइज मोमेंट ऑफ ऑल दिस फोर्सेस, त्यामध्ये वॉटर प्रेशर असेल, फील्ड प्रेशर, आइस प्रेशर, विंड प्रेशर, earthquake forces, all these forces are considered anti-clockwise forces and clockwise, anti-clockwise movements and clockwise movements. By ratio of this we get the factor of safety. This factor of safety value generally varies between 2 to 3. Value किती पाहिजे? In between 2 to 3. The value of factor of safety. Thermal overturning. How dam fail by overturning? The resultant of all the forces which passes outside the toe of the dam section, then dam shall rotate about the toe section, about this toe point. So due to which what happens? The overturning of the dam structure. To avoid that, the ratio of these anti-clockwise movements and clockwise movements, that should be equal to factor of safety. It should lie within 2 to 3. Factor of safety किती पाहिजे? 2 to 3. This is modes of failure by overturning. Second, compression or crushing. Dam may fail by crushing or compression. Failure of its materials. Materials may get fail. Material, if you use in the dam structure, if it is concrete structure, it contains cement, sand, aggregate. It may contain fine aggregate, coarse aggregate, steel. If these materials get fails, or if there any proportioning of this materials is not proper, or if your cavity is not achieved proper, if the strength of the concrete is weak, then dam may get fail due to crushing. The compressive stresses produced may exceed the allowable stresses. The compressive stresses on the dam structure, when they get exceed, or they get they may be greater than the allowable stresses, then dam material may get crushed, or dam may fail by compression. Compressive stresses on the dam structure, when they exceeds than the allowable stress. Allowable stress पेक्षा ते compressive stresses ज्यावेळेस जास्त होतात त्यावेळेस काय होईल? डॅम मे फेल ड्यू टू क्रशिंग. The allowable stress, compressive stress is less than allowable stress, then dam will not fail by crushing. The compressive stress is कसे पाहिजे? It should be less than allowable stresses. It should not be more than allowable stresses. The vertical direct stress distribution at the base is given by this equation. You have studied in the strength of material how to find this direct stress and bending stress at the base of the dam structure. This is our formula. The total stress is equal to direct stress plus bending stress. दोनों addition है, direct stress plus bending stress. The P max or P minimum is equal to summation of V vertical forces by capital B plus or minus M upon I into Y. M is the moment, bending moment, I is the moment of inertia, Y is the distance of the extreme fiber from neutral axis. Then that give this equation summation of V by B into bracket 1 plus or minus 6E by B. E is the eccentricity. Small e is the eccentricity. This is the formula of calculating P max or P minimum. P minimum. Maximum stress or minimum stress. E is the eccentricity of the resultant force from the center of the base. Summation of B is the total vertical force. B is the base width. B is the total width of the dam. Resultant is near to the toe, and hence maximum compressive stress is produced at the toe. या toe या साइडला resultant force या ठिकाणी compressive force produce होतो. Maximum compressive force when the reservoir is in full condition. If reservoir full असेल up to maximum water level, then this will be the resultant force will be acting at the just nearer to the toe. इकडे लेफ्ट साइडला हिल आहे, इकडे टो आहे, दिसते? समजलं? This is the vertical stress distribution for reservoir full condition. When the reservoir is full, त्यावेळेस हे स्ट्रेस डिस्ट्रीब्युशन डायग्राम आहे. कॉम्प्रेशन प्लस मध्ये दाखवलंय पी मॅक्स पी मिनिमम आणि इकडे कॉम्प्रेसिव्ह प्लस टेन्शन मायनस. These are the two cases. See this resultant force. It is intersecting at the base of the dam outside this B by 2, half the width of the dam. B by 2 इथे दाखवले. Is just nearer to the toe. This is the stress distribution diagram. This is P max, P minimum. It is shown. It's positive. P max, P minimum. Compressive force is positive, and tensile stress is negative. Compressive stress and tensile stress. Another diagram, vertical stress distribution diagram for reservoir empty case. When the reservoir is empty, when there is no water on upstream side, then this will be the stress distribution diagram. See this. The resultant force जो है तो इथे act होते हैं at just nearer to hill. The resultant is nearer to the hill, and hence maximum compressive stress, positive compressive stress is produced at the hill when the reservoir is empty. These are the summation of horizontal forces and summation of vertical forces. Resultant of these forces will act just nearer to the hill. Is P max, is P minimum, compressive stress positive, tensile stress is negative. Is the condition when the reservoir is empty. So दोन्हीच्या diagram मध्ये change आहे. The resultant force will acting just near to the toe यामध्ये when the reservoir is full, and when reservoir is empty, then resultant will be acting just nearer to the hill. समजलं दोन्ही मला difference? Any difficulty in this? You can ask. Any difficulty? Please ask. समजलं का इथपर्यंत? Yes, anyone? Okay, maximum stress P max will be produced on the end which is near to the resultant. So maximum stress will be acting, which will be produced on the end which is near to the resultant. At that point, there will be the maximum stress P max, and P minimum, which comes out to be negative. It means the tension shall be produced at the appropriate end. जिथं मॅक्झिमम स्ट्रेस ऍक्ट होईल त्या ठिकाणी पॉझिटिव्ह स्ट्रेस असेल, जे दाखवलं पण या इमेजमध्ये, या ठिकाणी ऍक्ट होतो हिलच्या साईडला, तिथे पॉझिटिव्ह स्ट्रेस आहे, आणि त्याच्या ऑपोजिट साईडला निगेटिव्ह स्ट्रेस, आणि यामध्ये सुद्धा रिझल्टंट टोचच्या साईडला ऍक्ट होतं. इथे पॉझिटिव्ह स्ट्रेस आहे, मॅक्झिमम पॉझिटिव्ह स्ट्रेस, अँड ऑपोजिट टू दॅट देयर इज अ निगेटिव्ह स्ट्रेस. If P minimum exceeds the allowable compressive stress of the dam material, generally taken as 3000 kilonewton per meter square for concrete. So this is the allowable compressive value of the dam material that may be taken as up to 3000 kilonewton per meter square or 30 kg per centimeter square. If this P minimum exceeds this value, then dam may crush or fail by crushing. Dam may fail due to compression or crushing. Then this P minimum exceeds this value 3000 kilonewton per meter square. Then the dam may fail by crushing. Therefore, it should the P minimum should lie within this allowable compressive stress. Next is tension. Dam may fail due to tension. आता आपण overturning पाहिलंय, compression पाहिलंय, and third one is tension due to tensile stresses. So masonry of and concrete gravity dams, which will be designed in such a that there will be no tension is developed anywhere in the section of the dam, because this material cannot withstand the sustained tensile stresses. While designing a dam section, it is designed in such a that there is loading should be the forces acting on the dam structure. So in such a that there should be no tension is developed. If subjected to such stresses, tensile stresses, these materials may finally crack. When the tensile stresses exceeds the allowable stresses, then the material of the dam structure may fail. So for achieving economy in the design for very high gravity dams, certain amount of tension may be permitted under severest loading conditions. इकॉनॉमी काही वेळेस इकॉनॉमी अचीव करण्यासाठी ही जी टेन्साइल स्ट्रेस आहे, some of this tensile stresses they may be allowed. This tension may be permitted under severest loading condition. If the loading on the dam structure is somewhat severest, or it may be somewhat critical, then some allowance is made to take this tensile stresses. Up to certain limit, if there is a very high gravity time is there, the forces acting on the dam structure, they are severest. In that case, some allowance is made for these tensile stresses. This may be permitted because of the fact that such worst loading condition shall occur only momentarily for a little time. It should not be longer. These stresses should be allowed for certain duration, not for longer duration. काही प्रमाण ते allowed आहे. Maximum permissible tensile stresses for high concrete gravity dams under worst readings may be taken as 500 kN per meter square. Maximum permissible value किती घेतली जाते? 500 kN per meter square or 500 kg per centimeter square. In worst condition, worst readings, in case of high concrete gravity dams, in that case, maximum permissible tensile stresses are taken as 500 kN per meter square. So more than that value, it is not allowed. Then the dam may fail due to it may fail due to tension. Cracks may be developed in the dam section. The maximum permissible value of tensile stress is allowed. कितने value? 500 kN per meter square for high concrete gravity dams. See this, the tensile failure, the heel toe, base of the dam, no tailwater. ABC is the old uplift diagram. A, B, C, uplift diagram. Then A hash, B hash, C hash. A hash, B hash, and C hash. The new uplift diagram after the crack A hash has developed. This is the uplift diagram which is prepared after crack is developed. A to A dash is the crack. Crack is developed between this A to A dash. दोन triangles दिसले. Uplift diagram which is shown by this diagram ABC. The base of dam. Base of dam खालचा पार्ट फक्त घेतलेला आहे, वरचा पार्ट दाखवलेला आहे. This is state distribution diagram. हे दाखवलेलं आहे. Effect produced by tension cracks. Due to tension cracks, what happens when crack develops? When such tension crack develops in the dam structure, say at the heel of the dam section, crack width or crack area loses contact with the bottom foundation. In that case, it becomes ineffective. When crack is developed just nearer to the heel section, then in that case, it loses the contact between with the bottom foundation, base width. Foundation ची contact होत नाही. Hence, effective width B of the dam base will be reduced. This will increase Pmax at the toe. So base width काय करायचं आहे? Reduce करायचं आहे. Effective width B will be reduced. Then this will increase the Pmax at the toe. So maximum stress will increase. Uplift pressure diagram gets modified due to crack formation, which is shown in the figure, resulting in the increase in the uplift. And when this uplift forces increases and the net effective downward force reduces, the resultant will shift more towards the toe, and thus further increasing the compressive stress at the toe and further lengthening the crack due to the further tension development. So due to increase in the uplift pressure and net effective downward force, compressive force, then resultant will shift towards the toe. त्यामुळे काय होईल? it will increase the compressive stress at the toe section, and due to which what happens, there may be crack may be developed. It is A to A dash, crack may be developed. Process continues, the effective base weight goes on reducing, and compressive stress at the toes goes on increasing. इफेक्टिव्ह बेस वेट काय होईल, कमी होईल. जसं तो कॉम्प्रेसिव्ह स्ट्रेस वाढत जाईल, इफेक्टिव्ह बेस वेट काय होईल, कमी होईल. आणि फायनली काय होईल, क्रॅक डेव्हलप झाल्यानंतर डॅम मे फेल बाय at the toe by direct compression. So tension crack by itself does not fail the structure. Tension crack जर प्रोड्यूस झाला तर तो टोटल स्ट्रक्चर डॅम स्ट्रक्चर फेल होणार नाही, बट it leads to the failure of the structure by producing excessive compressive stress. Dam will not fail by tension by producing the tension crack, but that will lead to the failure of the structure by exceeding the compressive stresses. The compressive stresses crack develop झाल्यानंतर काय होईल, compressive stresses वाढतील, compressive stress काय होईल, वाढेल. त्यामुळे काय होईल, the dam may fail. So in order to ensure that no tension is developed anywhere in the along the section of the dam, then P minimum should be equal to 0. The minimum stress should be equal to 0. Maximum value of eccentricity that can be permitted on either side of the center is equal to B by 6. Maximum value of eccentricity किती पाहिजे, it is equal to up to B by 6, म्हणजे base weight divided by 6. The resultant must lie within middle third rule. Middle third rule माहिती आहे तुम्हाला, डायरेक्ट अँड बेंडिंग स्ट्रेस मध्ये झालंय फॉर्म मध्ये. रिझल्टंट जो आहे, रिझल्टंट फोर्स that should lie within the middle third, म्हणजे B by 3. The core of the section, my core of the section, within that core of the section the resultant should pass. Then in that case there will no tension is developed. All the stresses it is considered as compressive stresses. So it should not pass outside this core of the section, should lie within this middle third, म्हणजे B by 3, B by 3, B by 3, total depth by 3, 1/3 of the base or 1/3 of the depth. Within that core of the section, the resultant should pass. Then in that case, dam is said to be safe against tension. So this is how it is calculated. P max or P minimum is equal to summation of B by B into bracket 1 plus or minus 6E by B. We have taken as positive and negative. Then if P minimum is 0, that 0 P minimum ची value 0 ठेवली, या इक्वेशन मध्ये काय येईल, summation of B by B into bracket 1 minus 6E by B is equal to 0. And this equation becomes 1 minus 6E by B. The summation of B by B तिकडे गेल्यावर काय होईल, 0 होईल. So remains eccentricity E, small e is equal to B by 6. Then the eccentricity किती पाहिजे, for no tension the eccentricity should be B by 6. Then P minimum is 0. समझला. To avoid this tension failure, the eccentricity should be B by 6, or the resultant should pass within the middle third, within the core of the section. समझा tension failure. समजलं? Any difficulty? आवाज येते का? Next type of failure is sliding failure. त्यालाच काय म्हणतात? shear failure. When this shear failure develops, this will occur when the net horizontal force above any plane in the dam or at the base of the dam exceed the frictional resistance developed at that level. Develop friction at the base of the dam, the friction between dam structure and at the ground surface. When this horizontal forces, external forces म्हणजे कुठले? Due to water pressure, wind pressure, earthquake forces, ice pressure, silt pressure. When this exceeds this frictional resistance, then the shear failure may occur. When horizontal forces, this horizontal forces, summation of H, when it exceeds, then the developed frictional force, frictional resistance, that is denoted by mu into summation of V. त्यामध्ये mu काय? Coefficient of friction. Summation of V is the summation of all vertical forces. Summation of H is the summation of horizontal forces. Summation of V acting downward. Summation of H acting towards right. So friction is developed between the two surfaces equal to mu into summation of V. दाखवलं या diagram मध्ये mu into summation of V. The dam structure आणि the base of the dam या दोन्ही मध्ये जी contact surface आहे, the ground surface आहे, foundation हा strata, contact surface. At this phase, at this level, the dam may get slide. म्हणजे दोन्ही मध्ये काय होतं? Friction will be developed. Will pass one above the another. Horizontal forces towards rightward and frictional force will act towards leftward. दोन्ही एकमेकांवरती स्लाइड होतात. Where summation of V is the algebraic sum of all external forces, whether it may be vertically upward or downward. Mu is the coefficient of friction between two surfaces. So, for no sliding, the external horizontal force, summation of H must be less than the shearing resistance mu into summation of V. The sliding failure avoid करण्यासाठी काय? Horizontal force कसं पाहिजे? This horizontal forces should be less than shearing resistance. Shearing resistance पेक्षा horizontal forces ची value कमी पाहिजे. If it exceeds, then the dam may fail due to shear failure. When two bodies will slide one above the other. समजला? स्लाइडिंग फेल्युअर कसं? एका टेबल आपण एक सपोज एका ब्लॉक ठेवला आहे on the table. So when you slide that wooden block, then it will oppose that table surface while sliding of that wooden block. Then it will oppose to this sliding of that wooden block. So movement of that block towards the direction of application of the load and the frictional force will act opposite to that application of the load. So this